Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Keeping It Real with your girl Philly Phil. How are y'all doing? Okay, I told y'all today was Terica's attorneys only hearing, and I did dial into the Zoom call. I actually pinned the information in the comment section from my video yesterday, so you guys were able to listen in to the call as well if you had time. But I did ask you to make sure you came back and listened to my summarization of it, okay? Alright, so the first thing the clerk did on the Zoom call, she said, you know, could be no recordings of it, so I had to take notes, and I was writing quick because they were speaking fast. So excuse me, I will be looking down at my notes, okay, because I want to make sure I give you guys accurate information, okay? All right. Whew. Okay, so again, today was Terica's attorneys only conference. Now, it was pretty much, you know, how I said it would be. They were talking about dates and things like that, just trying to nail some things down and get things scheduled, finding out what had been discussed and what had not been discussed. So the judge and the attorneys, the judge began with asking the United States prosecutors to introduce themselves, which was Miss Carol and Miss Angie Davis. And then she asked the defense to introduce herself, which was Rocca Morrison, okay? After that, began with the first motion, a motion for a complex case finding, okay? Motion number 48. Now let me tell you what a motion for a complex case finding is. All right, so a motion for a complex case is all first-degree murder cases and all cases that will require the court to consider evidence obtained as a result of an order permitting the interception of wire, electronic, or oral communications, and any case that the court in a written factual finding designates as complex. And this case does have, you know, the electronic and the wire and oral communications and all of that good stuff, the text messages. So yes, it's definitely a complex case. It's a complex case. What the defense was asking was for a motion to appoint a co-counsel because the case has the potential to become a capital murder case. Remember, I talked about that in another video update. I said that the death penalty was on the table for Tim and Terica. Yes, and it is. So Rocca Morrison was asking for the approval to add a death penalty specialist attorney to her team, to the case. Since death penalty is at play, and just in case it rose to that level down the road. All right. The judge asked the government if the motion was okay. Once they all agreed to this motion, the judge granted the motion to appoint Mr. Bronze if death penalty were to come up for consideration later on down the road. Now, the judge followed up and said, if there is no death penalty, then there would not be a need to have two counsels, and that would not be allowed. And Mr. Bronze would no longer be on the team, okay? Would no longer be on the case. So pretty much, if death penalty is taken off, which I hope it is, because I personally, in my opinion, I don't believe in the death penalty. Just let them rot in prison for the rest of their lives for what they have been allegedly accused of doing. But, you know, we don't know if they're going to bring up death penalty or not. But just in case, Mr. Bronze was approved. All right. So the judge mentioned that Terica had already had her arraignment on September 22nd by Judge Ross. This was in Mississippi, okay? Which was pre-trial. She asked, had pre-trial discovery been granted, okay? And they said, no, not yet. So pre-trial discovery. Let's talk about pre-trial discovery. What is pre-trial discovery? All right, so pre-trial discovery, this enables the parties to know before the trial begins what evidence may be presented. It's designed to prevent trial by ambush, where one side doesn't learn what the other side's evidence or witnesses are until the trial, when there's no time to obtain, you know, any answering evidence. So, you know, there's no surprises. You have a right to know what they have against you, so your attorneys can try and gather up some information to prove that, hey, no, that's not true. That's not how it went down. So they said, no, that had not happened yet. So there has not been any pretrial discovery, okay? So then Miss Carol for the United States asked document 34, a motion for a protective order. What is a protective order? See what that is. A motion for a protective order refers to a party's request that the court protect it from potentially abusive action by the other party. Such a request is often made in relation to discovery, as when one party seeks discovery of the other side's secrets or evidence in this case. So Ms. Carroll said that there were financial records and names of several witnesses that would need to remain under seal, okay? Ms. Carroll said, you know, there was confidential financial records and the witnesses that they wanted to protect. So, you see, we don't want Tim knowing, guys, we don't want Tim knowing the names of those witnesses. I mean, you see what he's allegedly been accused of doing to his nephew. I mean, if he would have found out who the witnesses are, he probably still got connections out on the street. So, no, they want to keep those witnesses' names under seal. So the judge asked the counsel, the defense, if they objected to that request, and they said no, they did not object to the protective order. Again, that was document number 34, and it was granted, okay? Okay, so next the judge then went on to the motion from the United States as a request to continue the trial. You know, because everyone deserves a right to a speedy trial. I'm going to put a link in the description that explains what a speedy trial is. And maybe I'll read a little bit of it. The standards of a speedy trial and timely resolution of criminal cases have three main purposes. You want to effectuate the right of the accused to a speedy trial. You want to further the interests of the public, including victims and witnesses, in the fair, accurate, and timely resolution of criminal cases. And third, to ensure the effective utilization of resources, okay? So everyone deserves a right to a speedy trial, all right? The judge did grant this request because there's just a lot of complexity to this case. I mean, a lot of things. So she granted that request to and the defense counsel did not object. All right. The judge then went on, and she was speaking a little fast, guys, so I was trying to write as fast as I could. She mentioned a pretrial motion for all three defendants. Okay, you know that's Tim, Terica, and then Wally, the fraudulent insurance agent. All right. The judge said that she would like to have all three defendants' pretrial hearing set for the same date. She asked, was the discovery voluminous? Was it large? The discovery items? And the United States said yes, it was. Said it contained a wide range of records, financial documents, electronic records, and this is where the defense would get to see all of the discovery evidence. Okay, when they have this hearing, this is where the defense will get to see what they have, what type of evidence they have against them. They know a little bit, but this is where all of the discovery will be laid out. Because remember, no discovery has been seen as of yet. Nothing has really been seen. Only things that have really leaked. So they agreed on a date. The judge set a status conference date for early December, December the 2nd, okay? This will be when they get to see where they are with the discovery process, and they'll get an update on the death penalty. She said they'll get an update on the death penalty for the other two defendants. Defendants, meaning, you know, they should find out if they're going to have death penalty on the record or not for Tim and Terica. The judge then mentioned that the next hearing will be for Tim Friday, and she then asked if there was anything else from the government. And she asked if there was anything else from the defense. They both said no, and the hearing ended. So pretty much, no discovery completely has been entered. You know, they haven't seen all the evidence against them. They're going to have that. Looks like December the 2nd. Tim's hearing is on Friday. It's actually in the courtroom. It's not a Zoom meeting. It's Friday in the courtroom there in St. Louis. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys found this to be helpful to you. Excuse me, I know I was moving around. I have so many notes here, guys, but I wanted to document everything they were saying, and like I said, you couldn't record it, so it was moving a little fast. But again, thank you for watching. I hope this was informative. Hey, there's going to be a lot of vlogs out there on this, so hey, and I'll be watching theirs too, because there's a lot of good vlogs out there. But guys, thank you again for watching Keeping It Real with your girl Phylly Phil, and I will see you on the next update.
Everybody ain't your friend, everybody ain't need your partner. I say I got you, I got you. Well, just hold it down and keep it solid. And when you're not around, I protect your name, I won't talk about you. Everybody ain't your